Attention passengers, this is SNY's Keith Hernandez, and this is a Queens-bound 7 Express train, the fastest way to Citi Field to see your Metsies.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to another 7 Express Live. I am your host, David from Top Bunk Sports. I got my three hosts with me, Chris, Amish, and AP. What is going on, fellas?
What up? What up?
What's up, guys?
And before we start this episode, obviously it's been an emotional week. Um, for those of us, for Latinos in general, but especially for us that are, Dominicans ourselves and that are from, we have family there. Uh, this past this past week, a couple of days ago, there was an accident in a nightclub called the Jet Set, where unfortunately many people lost their lives due to a roof collapse, and obviously one of them was former Met Octavio Dotel. Baseball legend Nelson Cruz, his sister, who was the governor for Montecristi in Dominican Republic, she also lost her life. And famous merengue superstar Ruby Perez lost his life as well. Just an unfortunate situation, and these type of tragedies tend to bring your country together, try to bring everybody together and try to just, these are situations that are unfortunate. Obviously, at some opinions it could have been handled, it could have been prevented, but you can't. These are things that they just hit you, and it's an unfortunate situations. Many people are affected by this, so obviously the guys are gonna say their side and kind of give their opinions on it. But from my end, as a Dominican, this hurts. This I have family members that knew certain people that passed away in this situation, so I just want to send my condolences and my prayers and my loves to the victims of to the families of the victims that passed away. And yeah, like I said, where Dominicans are funny, they're loud, they're crazy, but when it comes to a tragedy that happens in our country, man, and even if you're Latino, Puerto Rican, Colombian, Venezuelan, uh it brings you together. So I just want to send my love and my condolences to the families of the victims, man. And we're strong no matter what. But fellas, anything you want to say?
I guess like the only thing I would say is especially after what happened also with the helicopter crash here in New York City.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
a lot of sad news. And I don't know, like I don't really have anything other than my heartfelt condolences to everybody out there in DR. Our thoughts are with you. Our prayers are with you. To the family and the pilot who lost his life in the helicopter crash out here in New York. Condolences to that family as well. I don't know. At this point, I just really think that we should just hold a couple of seconds, a moment of silence.
Sure. Let's start that now. All right. Well, like I said, prayers to those that were affected by those tragedies, man. It's something very unfortunate, but these are the type of tragedies that, although it is sad, it brings us together. No matter if you're friends, families, or co-workers, no matter what you are, brings you together. So, prayers to those that lost anybody in those tragedies. But we got a lot to talk about in terms of the Mets. We got the Miami series to recap, and obviously we do play a game today, starting off a three-game set in Sacramento against the Athletics. But let's get into the series recap against Miami. Um, that's an interesting one. I know everybody kind of had their pitching, offense, a certain player that I don't think we want to talk about. I think we've spoken about him enough. Thank God he's not in the lineup today. For those of you that seen the lineup, but obviously the first game, Kodai Senga's home return, and he shoved for the most part, and the offense was dead. But thanks to Juan Soto and Tyrone Taylor, they were able to put 2 runs up on the board and go away with the victory. Fellas, in terms of game 2, the offense was there. It was a cold night. It was a cold day, I should say. It was very, very chilly. It was I don't know, man. I don't know how I made it through, but I was there. It was a cold day. And then obviously game 3, they just wanted to fly. They didn't even want to play in game 3. Fellas,
AP was there.
well, yeah, I'll have a conversation with AP about that. But hey, before I get to you guys, happy belated birthday to my guy, AP, man. I know it wasn't the best birthday present, but
Hey,
you got on the board, bro. You got your name on the board, man.
I did. I got. The funny thing about it, like the only thing I can say that was great about that is I didn't have to pay. So that was the greatest part of the whole game.
Yeah, you're right.
I took, for those of you that don't know, I took a group of students out there and their parents out there to Citi Field. For a lot of the kids, it was the first time. And it was a pretty cool experience, except for the kids saying, "This is the team that you root for." And they were getting no hit until like the 6th inning. I was like, of course.
The game before.
Yeah, I was like, well, I swear we're good. We're number 1. But
you know what you should do now? After that, you should text them right now and be like, go type in Marcus Stroman and see what comes up.
But the cool thing is that the Marlins actually, because we got there early enough, like the Marlins threw out some balls. I was able to get a baseball for my son. A couple of the other kids got some baseballs and what do you call it? And I did get my name on the Citi Field scoreboard, which was pretty cool. So all in all, other than getting no hit and not showing up and not playing offense all game, it was a pretty good game. So and to recap that, McGill still struggles with throwing way too many pitches. Like, it's insane how many pitches this man throws. He gets out of the situation, but at what cost? Like, he threw 30 pitches in the first inning, and you knew he was not going to last very long. And I think Mendy did hold on to him too long in that 5th inning. But I can't fault Mendy to a point, because it's like, damn, like we can't score 1 run. We can't generate any offensive, because I didn't know a Cy Young Award winner was pitching. I didn't know that the bullpen from the Marlins was going to shut this lineup down. And the excuses of it being cold, honestly, in the sun, it wasn't that cold. Like, maybe gripping the ball, whatever, but I think that the hitters could have hit that day. There was really no excuse. But look,
it was cold the day before and they scored 10 runs.
Yeah, and it was freezing on Saturday and Sunday. So
but it was worse on Wednesday. Yeah. Like, I stood there and I'm holding my phone to record, but I'm doing this. Like, when I felt myself shiver, I was like, yeah, nah, I don't understand how. Like, they're weird, bro. They're weird, because on Tuesday it wasn't even that it was cold, but it wasn't that cold, and they only scored 2 runs.
Yeah, but we can't get too upset. Like, I'm trying to like tell myself, because I know that I got greedy at one point, but I do think after a 5-1 homestand, we would have signed up for that, right? Like, I think everybody would have signed up for a 5-1, 4-2. But we ended up 5-1, and now we're in Sacramento tonight, ready to preview that series coming up. But honestly, I thought that all in all, the pitching held us down, but the Mets have got to come. The bats have got to wake up. I don't think that this is going to be sustainable, having no offense and relying on starters to have to do shutout after shutout after shutout to keep you into games. I just don't think it's a winning formula.
And that seems to be the common theme in terms of the starting pitching and the bullpen keeping these guys in games. But it's like, yo, where's the offense? I mean, again, Tyler McGill really couldn't stretch himself out, pause, but he got 7 strikeouts, like 7 big strikeouts. Like, he was attacking the strike zone. His fastball was there. You know what I'm saying? So again, he did enough to keep the Mets in it, but the offense couldn't do its job. Amish, what would you think about the series so far?
I mean, same old thing we've been talking about all season so far. It's the pitching's doing what they need to do. The offense is struggling, but they're doing enough to get by. Obviously, they didn't in that last game, but I don't know. It's frustrating to watch because you know the potential in this offense. You know that when they get going, that they're gonna be good. It's just waiting for it to happen is annoying, to be honest. But I still I don't doubt that it will happen. I struggle to say this, but I think getting Jeff McNeil back is actually going to be a help. Because here's the thing: as much as I'm not the biggest Jeff McNeil fan, when Jeff McNeil steps in the batter's box, pitchers do have to think about pitching to him. When Brett Beatty steps in the batter's box, they're not worried. It's just they're just not. So Jeff McNeil does make a little bit of a difference, and maybe Acuna could make that difference if he got more consistent time, but he's just not getting it, and he doesn't look any much better than Beatty at the plate. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. We can't tear the one guy down and not admit that Acuna hasn't been doing it when he is in there either. He's got the better glove. We got to give him that. And then, Alvy coming back, not that Torrens hasn't been pretty good, but I think if Alvy is the guy that we think he can be, he again makes pitchers pause more than you're still pitching to Luis Torrens. You're not that worried when you're pitching to Luis Torrens. When Alvy steps up to the plate, you're worried any minute he can run into one because the guy has crazy power. He's shown it.
However, you did bring up
My
a
only
good
worry
point.
with that is
I was gonna say you
what's
did
that?
bring up a good point. You did bring up a good point. If not the recent live, but the one before that about how Alvi, like people are kind of starting to figure him out, and we're starting to see this thing with him where
Yeah.
we're starting to see consistent at bats where he's not really attacking the strike zone and he's all over the place. So it's like at some point, are we gonna have that conversation about him? So
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to get at because there is that other side of it. It's like, is he going to put it together and figure things out, or is he still going to be that inconsistent dude? And my concern too is he rushing back? Like, I don't know that. I don't know. I've trust the training staff, but at the same time, like we've seen this dude come back from injuries and just not kind of be himself. And it's like I want your hand completely healed and not run the risk of doing this all over again. So hopefully he's not like just pushing himself too hard to get back because it feels like it is pretty quick. I thought we were talking about like May at some point with him, and it's already. I mean, he's already playing in rehab games, so he should be on his way up pretty soon. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he does bring the power threat that we know he can be because we've seen it. We've seen the dude just mash baseballs, and when he's on, he's legit. It's just he's got to be consistent. So. But
right.
that's the same for the offense in general. Like the top of the lineup, we're not really afraid of. Like I'm worried about. I'm should say. Like we know Lindor, he's already starting to hit way better than he has in April the last I don't know how many years. Soto hasn't gotten hot yet, but he's got decent numbers. And Alonso's mashing. We can't say shit about Alonso. Alonso's doing his thing. Need Nimmo to wake up a little bit. He's been inconsistent. Obviously him getting hot would be a big help. So yeah,
And
it's just the same old story. It's
you were talking
the
about
offense gonna catch up to the
I was just gonna say you were talking about Beatty, and something that I definitely heard while I was there on Wednesday is the boos. He's getting booed, and I think right now it was the perfect time for him to get out of town, for the team to get out of town, and to recalculate what they're gonna do. Because if he's struggling more on this road trip, how much more time is he gonna? How much more leeway is he gonna have?
He's
Because
got
I
till
just
McNeil
don't
gets back.
see
Let's
that's
be
gonna
real.
happen. Yeah, I think that he's just a placeholder at this point. And if McNeil's ready to go by next week, I think he's gone.
But I
I
mean,
think
I've
so
always
too.
looked at him like that. This is why I told people to hold their expectations with him, because you got to understand you're given an there was no way you were telling Luis Angel Acuna, yeah, you're not starting, you're not getting an opportunity. No, you have to give that to him. Then it's unfortunate that Jeff McNeil got hurt, but then when Jeff McNeil comes back, what happens? You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was kind of in the middle of shit, and but he's not helping his case. That's the thing. If he was actually hitting the ball and making contact and getting on base at certain times, maybe we'd be talking about Jeff McNeil and Beatty being up here and Acuna being the odd man out.
That's what
But
I thought,
because
but
he's so bad, at
yeah,
least Acuna has a reason to stay up here because of his defense. The brother can't play both sides. He
yeah.
sucks on offense and he sucks on defense. And again, I completely agree with certain people that's like, yo, it's not cool to boo, it's not cool to trash him. We get it, but we can still critique him. He's trash right now.
Yeah,
And you
but
have
I
to admit
think
it.
that what you're saying has a lot of weight. But I do think that if he would have held his own, I think he would have been the backup because I don't think they wanted to have Acuna just sit on the bench. So I do think that Beatty, if he would have done anything. Now, my thinking on this whole subject is once McNeil comes, I think Beatty goes down, let him crush, do what he does in AAA, and I think it's time to trade him. He could. I'm not gonna say he's not talented. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna be serviceable in the future. I just don't think his future's here, and I think that he does need to be traded, change the scenery,
Bro, I think
and
he's the
try to see
perfect
what's
small
going on.
market guy. Like, stick
Yeah.
him in somewhere where he could just be oblivious and nobody knows who
Yes,
he is.
yes,
And I think he will succeed a little bit,
I think
yes,
but
it's the
not
yes.
Miami
immediately.
Marlins. I think the Miami Marlins are that team. I just feel like I can't get it out of my head. I think that he is one of those pieces you trade for Alcantara. I just feel like that's
Listen,
the logical move.
you do it, but you know, if that's the route that they want to go with Alcantara and they want to involve Beatty in there and the Jet Williams is in there, you do it, you know. But we're not going into year 5 next year with, oh, is Brett Beatty going to do it again? Is Brett Beatty going to get another opportunity? No, you start spring training next year without Brett Beatty. That's how it should be. You've given this guy ample time, 4 straight years of opportunity after opportunity, and he's let's be real, he squandered it. So as an organization, you got to move on from guys that can't cut it up here, and it's a fact. And listen, Acuna's Acuna, but Acuna, as Amish said, Acuna could be down that route too. Because again, we've only seen a couple months of like maybe 2 3 months of success with him, and then he didn't get playing time in the playoffs. But it's like he's been cold as well. We can't just hold everything on Beatty and be like, yeah, let's just move Acuna out because his defense is good. No, offensively he hasn't done anything. So, you know, that as of right now, they have a real question mark on second base. But Chris, give me your thoughts on this conversation and the series overall.
Well, the series is like, I'm glad we took 2 out of 3. A sweep, would have loved that, but two
Mhm.
out of three, they did their work. Uh, AP's on still on his he's on the pace to get that 20-7 mark. I don't know, but it's looking good so far. But anyways,
Mhm.
yeah, we know what it is. The pitching first game, outstanding. Offense did just enough. Second game, they went off. Pete Alonso is on a polar bear tear, and game 5 they just went to sleep. That's I mean game 3 they just went to sleep. They went to sleep, and it is what it is. Uh, about Beatty, man, listen, that kid. I wish him nothing but the best because I'm not a hater, but that kid is mentally frustrated, and you could tell by his at bats. I call him O2 Beatty. As soon as he steps into the plate, he has O2 count on him because he's swinging. As soon as the pitch is go, he's already swinging because he's in his head. He said in the post game. He said in the post game interview, he's in between pitches. If you're in between, if you're already talking about it, you're in between pitches, or I don't know what you're doing because you shouldn't be in between pitches. You should have a game plan. You should know what you do. This is why they have game plans before the game before series. to know how pitchers attack and everything. But like Ahmed said, excuse me, pitchers don't need a game plan. They just say, okay, fastball, 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 get out of my way. That's how it's been going. And shout out to Josh about this. He said this, and I could see this happen. I can see when McNeil's ready to come back. I can see both of these guys go down. So the simple fact is, if you're not gonna give this guy playing time, McNeil's gonna get most of the playing time because he's your second baseman. That's what he is. Why are you gonna have Acuna here to do the same thing he's doing now? So you can use a backup guy that already does that for their career, and it's a veteran guy that it's not gonna hurt you to keep a guy there sitting down for 2 weeks because he's a veteran guy. So what? But a rookie like Acuna, you gotta give him playing time. You can see it. The more this kid plays, the more better he gets. That's but if you got a young kid sitting on the bench doing nothing, do we expect him to do much? No, I don't
It's
expect
not
him to
gonna
do
work.
anything at that
Right.
point. But the
Right.
only reason I want Acuna over Beatty, obviously, is defense and he steals bases. When you see Siri and Acuna back to back, I know they don't both get on base. I know they don't, but when they do, it's something. It's a beauty. So that's the only reason. Give me a second, guys.
Yeah. All right, so Chris is taking a sec. No, I agree with everything that Chris is saying. I think that his at bats have been atrocious. He doesn't seem to have any type of clue. He's flailing. He's that the weak ground out to nothing's been hit hard. It's just there's no evidence that he should be here. It definitely seems cerebral at this point. Like I think something's off inside. I think he has lack of confidence. And let's face it, at the major league level, you're not going to gain confidence here if you just continue to have these atrocious at bats. He's got to get some string of success for him to believe in himself. I just don't know if he's going to get that chance anymore. Like he just
My bad,
always
guys.
starts off like that. No problem, Chris.
You're good, bro. No worries. Yeah. I mean, and again, this organization has a lot of decisions to make when it comes to that. When it comes to this rotation, I know we've given this rotation a lot of credit, but you know that Sandy Alcantara situation is brought up for a good reason. You know what I'm saying? Like based on where this team is at, and based on how well this rotation continues to go, is Sandy Alcantara a guy that they fully go after to beef up the rotation even more? And again, I think because I was never a fan of the Frankie Montas signing, I think you do because now you the thing with Frankie Montas is that he's always hurt, and that's the risk that you're taking with a Frankie Montas. So where if you at least have a Sandy Alcantara who again is coming off of Tommy John and he's throwing 97, 98. Like this, he hasn't slowed down. So you get you beef up a package for him and you bring him here, and it really doesn't diminish your rotation because now you know what to expect out of Griffin Canning, you know what to expect out of McGill. Shamanai is coming back. He adds so much value to this rotation. And if you have to give a prospect like an Acuna or a Jet Williams and put Beatty in there, you're gonna have to do it. So, this organization has a lot of question marks right now within the rotation, within second base. I mean, I've fans on my timeline talk about center field being a question mark. I don't see how, but they're saying it's a question mark. So there's a lot of I'd rather go through these things now so where later on down the line, we know what we have and we know what we're set with. So, any final thoughts, guys, before we move on to the predictions and the preview series?
No, I think that what do you call it? The Mets right now 8-4, first place. I was taking a quick look at the scores, the live scores right now, up to date. Right now, the Braves are losing 5-3 in the bottom of the eighth to the Rays. If that score holds up, the Braves will
Oh
be
man,
4-10.
I hate to
I mean,
see
excuse
it.
me, 3-10. Excuse me, 3-10. I gave them one more win, 3-10.
Shout out
Hate
to
to
the
see it.
Haywatch.
Look at my
Huh.
face. Look at my face. I hate to see it.
Yeah, the Braves. I wish them no success. The Marlins right now, after coming to Citi
Well,
Field, are winning 4-2. The Yankees are losing to the Giants 5-1 in a start where Stroman couldn't get out of the first inning. And the early
Oh
games,
boy.
Pirates lost to the Reds 5-3, and the Guardians won 7-0
Hey
over
Pete,
the Royals.
now that you mentioned that Yankee score, that's that after we're done here, I'm gonna open a bottle of I'm not even a bottle, I'm gonna open ice cream. I'm gonna get in my sweats, eat some ice cream, and just celebrate. Just
I,
celebrate because you want to know why, and I didn't mean to bring this up, but
yeah.
I don't know, for some reason they just love bringing up my superstar's name as if he's still like so,
This is my fault. This is my fault. I opened
it's
up a
just I
can
just
of
want to
worms, and
say
we're
that,
gonna
but
move right along.
you did
All
bring
right,
up
we are
you did bring up the
moving. We are
standings. You did
moving.
bring
I
up
don't
the
know why
standings.
you were
Man,
You
scoreboard
did bring up
watching
the
in April,
standings,
let's
and
man.
go. Let's go
yeah,
to the
for
Mets.
real. Yeah, come
Let's go
on,
to the Mets.
AP. Like you
Let's go
talk
to the
about
Mets.
me, and you
Let's go to the
watching the
Mets.
Angels. Like what are we
Let's go to the
doing?
Mets. Let's go to the
But
Mets.
listen, you brought the standings, and as
Yeah.
of right now, with games being played, this is how the standings look. We are tied for first place with the Phillies. And then you got the Marlins, who, again, as of right now, look like they're trying to be in wild card contention early. And then you got the young savvy. I'll call them savvy because they got a lot of good young hitters that are coming up in the Washington Nationals. And then you got these guys right here. These lonely guys right here in the bottom. They're from the Peach State. They're not eating too much peach because they're getting hit a lot and they're losing. So, it's an odd start to the year. We'll see how their
Okay.
pitching holds
But
up.
this is why I said it. This is
Mhm.
why I said that we got to get off to this hot start, and that's why I was hoping that we were like 27, because I think that this is this part of the schedule that we will have a chance to really distance ourselves. So the Mets have got to put the pedal to the metal and really win the games that they need to, because we all know Atlanta will be getting reinforcements soon. So
Yes.
they're not going to stay 3-9 forever. So the Mets got to distance themselves as much as possible and take advantage as
They're
much as.
not them. I thought they would.
I mean, hell, I don't know, man. But now that we got the standings out the way, let's go into this nice graphic where it previews all three games for our series against the A's. Obviously, we got Griffin Canning against JP Spears. Then for game two, I got a question mark here because the A's still don't know who they're gonna have on the mound for game two. But we got David Peterson, and I think David Peterson after his last start he's looking pretty good, man. I really love what I'm seeing from David Peterson in the second year after the success he had last year. And then we got this matchup at the bottom that I've been waiting for because we're seeing our old friend. Luis Severino is pitching against us, and we got the ghost man himself, Kodai Senga, on the mound for the third time. And boys, I don't know how I feel about Sevy in that jersey, man. I miss my guy. I miss my guy a lot. That he brought a lot last year, and that was to see him in that jersey is like, ugh, he should be in the blue and orange. But what do you guys think? What's your prediction on all three of these games in terms of starts, in terms of how you think the team overall is gonna play? I'll start with Amish. Well, give me a prediction on that.
It's tough when we don't know who the hell the A's are pitching tomorrow because the Mets have a bad habit of making no name pitchers look like they're the best pitchers in the world. So that tomorrow's game actually scares me a little bit. Just because they do. They have that history of when teams throw a nobody at them, they, for whatever reason, it's like they don't, in the day and age where we know there's scouting reports for everybody, it's like the Mets don't have the information at hand. Like it's like they have no clue. They just go up there swinging at everything, and it just doesn't end well. So tomorrow's game, I'm not sure about. I have confidence that who we got, Peterson going tomorrow. I got confidence that he can do well. Um, Also, I don't know. I mean, it seems like that park is a hitter's park. Obviously, it's a minor league park. It's a smaller park. So hopefully the offense like can take advantage of that. You would think maybe. I think JP Sears is a lefty that, again, weird. Mets are weird with lefties too. Like sometimes lefties dominate these dudes. But I don't know. I think we can bat around on JP. Um, Canning, I think he can do a solid enough job. He obviously is familiar with the A's, having pitched in the AL West his whole career until now. Um, the Senga versus Kodai matchup is, I mean, the Senga versus Severino matchup is going to be interesting. Um, you wonder if Sevi goes in there a little too overhyped, trying to get back at his former team, and maybe he struggles a little bit with that being the case. Obviously, I'm the same thing. I'm not going to predict a sweep because sweeps are never a thing I like to predict. So I'll say we're going to take 2 out of 3. If there's a game that concerns me the most, it is tomorrow. Like I really do think that the prospect of going up against some no name pitcher that can just befuddle our lineup for some reason, that scares me. So I think if anything, we win today, lose tomorrow, and then win on Sunday. Hopefully, I'm wrong and we win all 3. I hope I'm not wrong and we lose more than one game. But to me, it's all about winning series, man. Like two, if you keep taking 2 out of 3, you're good. Like that's all you need to do. Take 2 out of 3, 4-game series, split them at worst, and we're good to go. Like if we do that all season, we'll be in great shape. So I like our chances. I think the lineup. I think going out west, going in a park that's basically a minor league park. I think that'll help the bats get going. Granted, we got to turn around and then go to Minnesota, where it's usually freezing cold in April, so that'll be interesting. But I think at the very least, this series we should see some bats come alive, and hopefully we put up crooked numbers more than once. We seem to have that one random game each series where we can put up runs, and then the other 2 games we just forget how to hit. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And then hopefully the pitching can keep it up. The pitching's been good. Like I can't complain about the pitching. So that's my thoughts going into it anyway.
I'll tell you this before AP and Chris go. You scared about the second game tomorrow, bro? I'm scared about the Sevy game. You talk about motivation. You talk about see. I was thinking about it and I was like, yo, maybe they hammer Sevy. But then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, it could be one of those games where we're probably thinking maybe because Sevy struggled in his last 2 starts, maybe they kill him and then Sevy goes in there and just completely shoves. And it's one of those things where it's like, you see what I'm saying? Like I thought about the opposite and look what happened. So
I think it
I'm more
could
scared about the
honestly
third
go
game.
either. I think it could go either way. I think Sevy can get himself so hyped up that he kind of loses himself, or he can
Hmm.
just go out there and get so hyped
And
up that
shove.
he
Yeah,
dominates. Yeah, so
yeah,
goes
right.
either way. I'm gonna lean towards we hit him around a little bit, but I
Okay.
trust it's not so much about Sevy as much as I think Senga's gonna go out there and pitch a really good game.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with the second part. Absolutely. I don't. This A's team hasn't seen them like that for them to, for me to be worried about what they're gonna do with them. However, I will give them their credit. That team, as much as we make fun of that organization and what they're doing, that they got a lot of good young hitters. That team, they're scrappy, man. They are scrappy. So, if it comes to a situation where even tonight, where we're tied with them 5-5 in the bottom of the eighth, don't be surprised because them young kids could fucking play, man. They got a good batch of young guys. But Chris, tell me what you think. What's your prediction on this series, bro?
Well, my prediction, I'm with Amish. I take a 2 out of 3 any day. I just don't know what game they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
The lefty, the lefty matchup does scare me because, like Amish knows, we all know the history of the Mets. No matter who's on this lineup right there, we can lefties.
Hmm.
So I see that last year I think we did a little bit better, but it still was a problem. So what kind of and Spears is not bad. He's not a bad pitcher. So we'll see.
He's
But
not. Yeah.
there is, and shout out to Keith of Seeing Suns with this stat that he we're talking about, and he brought this up, and it's very interesting. The ball so far in the field. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. the field seemed. Wait, give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man, my
no,
son's
yeah.
hitting me.
Shout out to the kids. Shout out to the kids. But yeah, no. In terms of this is a minor league park, so I think if he's trying to say that the ball travels a lot, um, I
Yo,
mean,
sorry,
just
my fault, guys. This
no,
my
you're good. You're good. No, you're good. You're good. No worries.
I'm not gonna explain myself. AP dope. But what what I was trying to get to is that the ball tends to fly more at nighttime than
Okay.
daytime.
Okay. Right.
So I feel good about the offense coming into it because if the Mets are top five in offense, believe it or not, they're top five in offense with balls hit it hard and expected batting average. They just ran into a lot of luck. I
Hmm.
mean, we all saw the games. There was a lot of players that hit the ball hard. Vientos, for instance, hit the ball very hard, but right at people. People diving, people doing plays on him. It doesn't help him that he runs slow. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So they've been hitting the ball pretty hard. So I know when the weather gets better, it's gonna turn around. We're gonna see a lot of offense come around from these guys. But that ballpark guy, I'm hoping these guys get in a rhythm and they go off because it is a minor league ballpark. And the Mets should take advantage with the nice weather. Man, they've been playing in bad weather for the last week and a half. So nice 70-degree weather, small ballpark. You should see a little bit more offense. Now,
So,
will we
right.
see it? I don't know. Remains to be seen, but I feel confident that they will turn it around.
AP.
I was like, am I on? But I don't know. You guys keep talking about I guess like the record for this weekend. I'm a little nervous. It could go either way because I am just looking at Sears start so far. He's been the model of consistency so far. Against Colorado, he pitched 6 1/3, 3 runs. Um, at Seattle, 6 2/3, 2 runs. He got 7 strikeouts that game against Seattle, only 2 in Colorado. But pretty much he's gone about almost 7 innings of about 2.5, 2.5, basically 3 and 2 runs given up. The A's also score. The A's could put up a ton of runs on you too. I mean, Rooker is at this point he's batting 125, but he's still got 4 home runs and he's got 8 RBIs pushed, and it's a little bandbox ballpark, so you gotta be careful of him in the lineup. You also have their young first baseman who's doing his thing right now.
Tyler Storstone.
Jordan, he's doing his thing.
Hmm.
They got a lineup. And they know how to score in tons. So I just need the Mets offense to wake up. The Mets offense needs to put pressure on Spears. I know that lefties, soft tossing lefties for whatever reason kill us, but lefties in general have given the Mets fits. So we really got to make sure that today, and I think that that's the reason why Marte's batting cleanup is just to get more right-handed pop, and get some and moving Vientos down in the lineup to protect that bottom of the lineup, because that bottom of the lineup has not produced and has not done much. So we need the bottom of the lineup to wake up, and I think that this series could go either way. Honestly, I was feeling more confident at the beginning of the season. Looking at the matchup in front of me, I could see it go. I could see it 3 different ways. I could see either the Mets sweeping them, the Mets winning the series 2-1, or the Mets losing the series 1-2. The only thing I don't think is going to happen, I don't see the Mets getting swept, but it's really close. I really think at this point, because of the Mets offense not clicking in all cylinders, I think that's the X factor right now. If the Mets go to Sacramento and they can put it together and show a consistent offense all three games, then I think that the Mets have a real shot of sweeping. If they don't, then I think the Mets have a shot of losing the series. So their bats have to wake up.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it there. Predictions, and I'm excited. I'm excited. This is a young, scrappy A's team that they're building, and you got Tyler. I can't even say his last name, but their first baseman, who's hitting the hell out the ball right now. So I think my I didn't put a graphic for this, but my two players to watch from both sides is obviously Pete Alonso in terms of him keeping his hot momentum going, and then Tyler, who's their best hitter right now, who's
So,
going
Top,
off.
you saying that, I want to throw it to everybody here. Who are you looking for in this particular matchup tonight where we got a lefty on the mound? Who do you think is going to be the difference for the Mets and why?
Well, let me start off with it. I think Lindor is gonna go off because he loves hitting left. His right hand side is he has way more power from the right hand side, and his swing is more batted. So, and I think the ball's gonna fly for him. So I think Lindor's gonna have a big game.
I'm sure to answer it.
Yeah, go ahead, Top.
Oh no, no. Okay, I'll go. To be honest with you, bro, I gotta give it. I gotta give it to Vientos. I gotta give it to Vientos. You got a lefty righty matchup. You got a guy that again. As much as people don't want to give him a leeway because they're like, hey, he needs to start off good, second year, whatever. The brother hasn't played in the hot weather. Let's be real. I mean, Miami. If you want to count Miami, cool, whatever. The brother, he's getting back to hot weather today. Um, this is in a ballpark like that, the ball flies. And when a lefty righty matchup where he can abuse the inside fastball and abuse breaking pitches that are thrown right in the middle of the zone, I think he's gonna hit the ball. He's been hitting the ball very well in terms of making contact. Now, in terms of getting hits, that's all you need. And I think where you could rejuvenate yourself going out west in warm weather in a ballpark where it's a hitter's ballpark, a small ballpark at that, you can do damage. So I'm looking for Mark Vientos to really utilize his position in that lineup, especially because Mendy dropped him and because he's going to be an anchor to a couple of guys at the bottom of the lineup. And I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was solely on Mark Vientos staying at number two, number two, number two. But if he could be a spark from the middle to the bottom of the lineup, then we're having a conversation about Mark Vientos not only getting his consistency back, but providing something that the bottom of the lineup hasn't had. So I'm looking for Mark Vientos to get a good jump on not only playing in warm weather again, but playing in a ballpark that benefits him as a hitter with the
Okay.
lefty-righty matchup.
Amish, who you got?
You know what? I want to be different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Nimmo.
Oh,
I,
okay.
Okay.
I feel like
That's
it's
a good
his
one.
time to step up in limited at bats against this dude. He's got a 400 batting average. Granted, it's only few at bats, but still, um, I think it's his time. I think another guy that I think all of them will benefit from being in warmer weather. Not only being in warmer weather, but being outdoors in warmer weather. They've played in two domes and then turned around and went to New York where it's freezing. So, like,
That's my point. Right.
being
Exactly.
outside, getting some daylight. Granted, I mean it's a night game tonight, but they'll be in the daylight for a little bit, I think. Um, yeah, I for some reason Nemo's came to mind, so that's who I'm going with. I think he'll be a spark tonight.
Okay. Just looking at the lineup and the matchups, I wanted to say Alonso just because he's been on a tear and he's been doing his thing. But you know what? When the spirit of throwing a wrinkle and everything, since I've been asking for and really demanding the bottom of the lineup to do something, I want to see Torrens. Torrens back in the lineup. Torrens has one RBI against this guy. He's batting 200, but it's a limited at bats, 5 at bats. But I think Torrens breaks through and gets us some runs today. So I'm going with Torrens being brought back. Hopefully he's healed up off that injury. Now I'm gonna throw it back to you guys, but this time, who do you think Canning has to watch out for in the Force of Habit in the A's lineup? Who should he be watching out for and making sure to keep at bay today?
I mean, I'm going through number 1, 2, and 3 right here. You got Tyler Soderstrom, you got Brent Rooker, and you got Shea Langoliers, who all three hitters hit very well against righties. So, that to me right there, your 1, 2, and 3. If you could get through your 1, 2, and 3, I think he'll have a really good day. You know what I'm saying? But these 1, 2, and 3 guys have a lot of good power. So not only are they good righty hitters, but they possess really good power. So when you got guys like that, they're your 1, 2, and 3 combination. Those are your tone setters. So when you get through your tone setters, then I think he'll have a good night. But it depends on what he does with those three, in my opinion. Chris?
I think the guy is. You said his name, Sangaliers. That's the guy.
Stranglers?
That dude, yeah, last year, yeah, I remember he went Mark McGuire on us, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I realized I did a
yeah,
background,
yeah.
so I'm like, wait, this is the guy that the Braves traded. Well, of course he'll do good
Mm-hmm.
against us because he's a Brave. So that's the guy you got to watch out for because he is a Brave. Like he probably has that in his heart, and he probably hates the Mets in deep in his gut. So that's why he goes off on us. So that's the guy you got to watch out for. Everybody else in the A's, they're all young. Brent Brooker's having a bad start of things, but he does have that power. So you can never trust. Like, and these kids they're all young. Like, uh, one thing for sure is that they do hit a lot of ground balls. And shout out to Keith again with this stat. Like, they're the number one team that hit the most ground balls. And guess what the Mets are? The Mets are the number one team producing ground balls. So that's something to watch. Now I don't know about this ballpark. I don't know about Canning. And this is gonna be the second time we watch him, so it's gonna be interesting to watch. But I think that's the guy. That's the guy I would be careful with.
Amish?
I'm gonna go with the guy at the top of the lineup, Lawrence Butler, I believe is his name.
Lawrence Butler.
The guy has speed. He's got pop. He's a leadoff man. Like if he gets on base, he can create havoc. Like, and he's a lefty, so that scares me a little bit up at the top of the lineup. Plus, then you got the guys like you said behind them, that can create some damage. So I think getting Butler out and keeping him off the bases will be key in this game and the whole series, to be honest. But yeah, I think Butler's a kid. Like he's a dynamic player, and you gotta watch out for him this series.
Plus, if you're also dealing with, because I completely forgot about Lawrence Butler. He's their leadoff hitter. But if you got utility guys like Luis Arraez, Arraez, and Miguel Andujar, who again can hit the baseball but are speed threats. So if they're in the middle to the bottom of their lineup and you have them on base, you know they can kill you with stolen bases. So that's another situation that we got to keep an eye on. But the game does start in 30 minutes. So we're gonna wrap up here. Please enjoy the game. Let's go Mets. Shout out to Mets Nation. Shout out to all the Mets content creators
Yep.
that are putting in the work. We appreciate y'all.
Get this
Fellas, any
dub.
last word?
Yeah, let's get this dub. Let's go to Sacramento and tell Sevy we miss you, but too bad you didn't pick us. And shout out to the Mets for dropping that ball, but it's all right, bro. We picking it up, and let's get these wins, man. Let's win the series.
I just feel like it's gonna be like that, like Shawn Michaels kick to Ric Flair's face. Like you just gotta be like, "Sorry, I love you," and just kick him in the face.
I love you.
I mean, what could you say? Like, thank you, Sevy, but we gotta beat your ass. We really we need all these wins that we could get. Don't make me stay up. Do not make me stay up. I implore you, do not make me stay up.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Crap.
Oh, you're gonna hate me
'Cause
tonight.
I will go to
Listen,
AP.
Sacramento.
if AP watches a game that they lose and it's past 12 midnight,
I got
forget about it, guys.
two
Tomorrow, this guy in
toddlers
the
in the
chat is
house.
gonna go off.
Do not do this to me, Mets. Don't do it.
Yeah, these late games always scare me because
Oh,
it
I
feels
hate
like when the Mets go out west, the late games, something crazy always happens.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, tonight is the only one. The next two are 4 o'clock starts, but
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully, I just don't want to see anything crazy. Like, make it nice and easy tonight. Let me sleep well. I don't want to be able to be
Yeah.
having
I want to be
nightmares.
able to go to sleep for good reasons after
Right?
the first game. Like I don't want to be like,
You're
the
right.
game's over, I'm going to sleep. Like
Yeah.
can we please like have a stress free game where we're winning, like let's say 19-0, and I can go to sleep after the third.
Well,
Dude, that's
another thing I need.
20
Can we
runs,
please?
20 wins, 19 runs. You're like
20 wins. Yeah,
overshooting.
he's
I,
hey, y'all gave him
Listen,
the confidence when we did our season prediction, so I don't
can
expect
we
him to go down.
can we please
I
have
only missed you
Lindor?
guys by like 2 or 3 games, by the way. Just saying.
Can we please have Lindor go for 3 bases? And
Yes. Yes.
Soto go for 3 bases. Pete get a hit, and
Yeah.
Memo get a hit, and the Mets win
That's it.
because I
That's
Hey,
it.
I
win.
mean,
I'm just saying.
I just
I'm
want to see
waiting
some.
for it.
I just want to see some consistency from this
Yeah.
offense, man. Like we haven't had that. Like I want to see like not just like go go out there today and score a bunch of runs, but then do it tomorrow too. Don't turn around
Yes.
and
Back-to-back
score one
days.
run the next game. Like I need you to
Stop being
consistently
Jesus,
put
man.
games together that the offense is humming.
You know what I feel, Amish? If this lineup can do that consistently, like back-to-back games, I think they'll get the ball rolling, and I think it'll take them a long win streak, or at least it'll be great. It'll be better baseball we'll watch.
I mean,
Yeah.
they have no excuses today, right? It's warm, it's not raining. They don't have insane people in the crowds booing them today. Like there's just anything that you can think of. There's no excuse.
There's a
You
crowd in that
are
ballpark.
literally in a
I am
place
interested
where-
to see what the game looks like in this park. I haven't watched one yet.
Yes,
there's-
I was
there's-
interested for that.
I was gonna say, there's a crowd in this ballpark.
I mean, I don't know. Do they have Sacramento A's fans? I mean,
Nah, they don't. I don't even think
I mean,
that
it's
fan
a
base
minor
wants to
league
be.
park. You could sell that out with a couple thousand fans, so maybe who knows?
That's it. Listen, if the A's can't sell out a spring training fucking ballpark, y'all might have to just tear that organization down at that point. Like, yeah, I'm sorry,
It's
but
not their fault.
yo,
It was not their
no, but come on, man, like that, yo, like Jesus,
They
that's how
literally
much.
took him out of Oakland and moved him to Sacramento. Who's Sacramento? Like,
Hey,
Just wait,
listen.
they're going to be a juggernaut when they move to Vegas.
yeah.
Oh my God,
I
bro!
believe it.
Listen,
I believe
I've heard stories of Oakland fans literally going every Sunday to go watch the Raiders, and the Raiders haven't been nothing. So if you could do it for the Raiders, who can never win a season in their life, you could definitely do
yeah,
it for
but
some young cats.
there's a different relationship with those fans.
Yeah.
The A's fans,
I guess.
A's
I
fans
guess.
were not happy with that ownership, and that rightfully so. That ownership is a piece of garbage. Anybody that's, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but F you trying to take city funds to finance a ballpark when you have billions of dollars. We have more problems in the world than your shitty ballpark that had, that was the worst ballpark I've ever been to in my whole life. The seat that I sat in broke. I've never seen that in my life. I literally had a broken seat. They had some guy come in with a tool belt and fix the seat.
Nah, man.
I'm not even lying to you. And it's not like I'm fat. You can see it in my face. I'm not fat. The shit broke. And on top of it, as soon as you go, okay, not being gross, but for any man that's ever gone to a bathroom, the worst thing that you could do is, instead of a urinal, they basically had people just peeing on what looked like the wall. So it's just a gross penny pinching organization.
That's yeah,
Deserves
bro.
nothing.
Nah,
They stink
I
just
thought,
like
I thought you were gonna say you sat with the possum or something. I
no.
thought you were gonna say that.
I was gonna say, I was wondering what was.
I would have
that
preferred.
little thing.
I would have preferred it.
AP would have came back. Look, son, why get a cat? I got you a possum from Oakland. Like, why not? Like, Oh boy. Hey,
Oh
listen, they
man.
probably listen. Who knows? They probably popped the champagne in the pitcher's mound in that spring training just because it's fresh ballpark. Like it. You gotta. I feel bad for them guys, man. And it's been a hard couple years for them. We,
Well,
oh boy.
I hope the players don't feel bad for them too because I need them to win.
Well,
The
listen.
funniest thing about that park is the little tent that they created to do press conference.
Oh,
You
that is
seen that? Yo, bro. What?
yeah. It's not even. It's in those little what is it? Those little things. Those trailers. It's in like
Yeah,
inside a trailer or
yeah.
like a
It's
shipping container.
literally
It's a
it's
container. That's
it's
what it is. A container.
it's
I'm like,
literally a
oh my god,
small
bro.
a small background, and you literally have two chairs in a row. Like that's literally what it is. And then the camera's like in the back, so you got to think about it. There's really nothing you could do. Like it's just
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
telling you, if I was a fan of that organization, I don't know what I'd do. Like
Are
I
they even
honestly.
considered ball major league players at that point? Like I'm like, this is not the big leagues.
Listen, I don't even think reporters want to be there. I think they're getting local people to just join the thing and just be like, "Hey, go in this tent and just give your opinions." Because I don't think a reporter wants to report on this damn team. Like that's how bad it is. Like it's nasty. It's nasty work.
I
So
mean, I haven't seen.
I wish nothing but the best for those people.
I
I don't.
really do.
I don't wish them
Yeah.
nothing. I haven't seen anything more comical than you know what. I'm gonna leave it alone. But
You want to keep going? You can keep going if you want. Just let
no,
me know. And
there's
okay,
been
yeah.
there's just funny stuff all the way around. But no, it's really a
Shout out
shame.
to
And
Spaces.
I was
Yes.
not gonna. I was going to say that I was, but it's a shame
Great
though. To
space.
be honest with you,
Uh,
that a fan base has to lose their team that way. Like it is like it makes me think about like if the Mets, because we were once ran by a bunch of morons. If we
Yeah,
would have
that is
lost our team because
that is
our
allowed,
ownership was cheap, like how that would have made me feel. So like
bro.
I do feel for the
P.
Oakland fans.
I'd rather get run by the Wilpons than run by that with that guy. That's how
yeah.
bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an extreme. And it makes you just think
It's
like
true.
how much
It's
Billy
true
Bean
though.
really had to do to help that team win with nothing.
Shout out to him for that.
Bro, you know what's funny? I never thought I'd hear the day that somebody would prefer the Wilpons over any other owner. Honestly,
I
that
mean,
that
think
just.
about it. Think about it.
Ugh. I mean, okay. So let me ask you a question then. Out
Yeah.
of the out of the Angels, out of the White Sox, and out of the A's, which one y'all picking?
Well, the White Sox, believe it
They're
or
the
not, won a
Pirates in there.
championship.
Matter of fact, I'll put the Marlins in there as well.
Just play independent ball. That's it.
Or you could put the Pirates in there. I'm sure you know better than I do when it comes to these
Oh
damn
man.
fucking Pirates. You
Nah,
could
the
put them
Pirates
in
are
there.
lead. I'll pick the Pirates over
Wait, so
all.
wait, the question is Angels,
It's
White
Angels, yeah,
Sox.
right. Angels, White Sox,
Uh-huh. You
Angels,
said
White Sox,
Pirates?
Oakland, Pirates, and Miami. That's six teams. Out of those six teams, which one do you guys prefer? If they said right now, with everything that they have, like you got to choose one of them. Who would you
Holy
choose?
crap.
You have to root
I
for them. You can't even be a organ. You can't even be a owner of that or because ownership. You could do some things to kind of get them out the funk. You just have to be a fan, pom poms and everything. Like which one out of those six would you choose?
I think I picked the Pirates. They have more potential than all of them.
But
With
are you
Paul
confident
Skeens.
that owner is just gonna wake up and just be like,
I
yeah,
was,
I would
I
have to
was
go with
gonna say,
the
go
A's, I
ahead.
guess, because they're moving to Vegas and they have the
Well,
young
that's
people.
true. That's
that,
true.
that's true.
I was gonna
That is
say
absolutely true. Yes.
the thing with the Pirates, and I know firsthand. I actually know some people in the organization. The the Pirates are so frustrating because A, they have the nicest park in baseball, in my opinion.
I agree. I absolutely
B,
agree.
they have the potential with the pitching.
Mhm.
You have so much young pitching. You got Paul Skeens that you're now squandering. And the owner just refuses, absolutely refuses to spend a penny to upgrade anything. Like that lineup, if they had spent just a little bit of money, they could actually be contending because their pitching is solid. They have a legit starting rotation. Their owner just won't spend money.
Let me ask you, because you obviously you've been to Pirate games. You say you just said certain people in the organization. What do you think it is with them that they don't want to spend? With all that talent that they have in terms of young talent, like, what do you think it is?
He's just legit just cheap, and he just won't let them. Okay. He's like, all his money that he does have goes into, he has a ski resort. That's where he puts all his money. Kind of like the Wilpons put all their money in real estate when that's all he does. Any money that he makes.
Ski resort must be top notch if he makes all his money.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice, but he's ran a bunch of newspaper organizations. Obviously, newspapers are dead. Like he's run a bunch of crap into the ground, and he's basically doing it with this team too. And it's frustrating to watch because the fan base does deserve better. And
you convinced me to take my answer.
No, the A's probably are the pick just because of what AP said. They're moving to a new park.
Yeah, and gonna be more.
Eventually, they're gonna invest in that club, but you just gotta ride it out until then.
They did extend some of the guys this offseason. They did do that.
So. They did.
Yeah, they spent a little money, not a lot, but it was some more.
They took 7 from us,
Before we wrap it up, I do gotta ask one more Pirate question. What you think the future is with Paul Skeens in terms of like his free agency? Because that brother,
he is out.
If you can't tell that we're Latino because we keep saying we're gonna leave and we stay for like the next 20 minutes.
Part of
I just had to ask because I have a feeling that David Stearns is gonna be like, hey, listen, I don't like offering long-term contracts, but hey, Paul Skeens, let's talk.
I don't think
a lot of people are gonna be throwing money at that dude. I just know he ain't staying in Pittsburgh. He is out. That dude
he said, I'm gone.
He's so gone.
If the brother's smart enough to see what Gary Cole got and his potential, and let's just say he puts on another 2 to 3 years the way consistently like that man is about to get so much bread, man, that he don't even got like he's good.
And unless they sell the team, like the Pirates fans need to hope that they just trade him at when the time comes for like as much as possible, because he's not gonna stay. He's not. So you might as well get as many pieces as you can for that dude when the time comes. Not yet, but when you get to like a year before his free agency, you better start thinking about it.
Hey, listen, David Stearns, you could sign Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn. I'll take them both. We could make that work. I seen her one time in real life in the city, and I was about to drop everything. And pause. Yeah, sometimes it just. But yeah, hey, David Stearns, come on, let's get to thinking. But hey, shout out to everybody in here. I don't know who the hell is this Dennis dude, but he just said let's go
Dennis,
Sacramento.
not shout out Dennis. Fuck Dennis.
Jesus Christ. Please tell me you're not from Sacramento, because you haven't seen nothing of success. So please. Anyways, shout out to the 160 that watched us today. We appreciate y'all. The Mets game is going to start in 12 minutes. So enjoy the game. Let's go Mets. And we will catch y'all on the next video. Peace.
This is SNY's Gary Cohen, and this train ride is over. This is the last stop on the train. Please exit onto the platform. Thank you for riding with us.